Hello, hello, hello. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us here on this special edition, early edition here, Christmas Day 2020. Hope you guys are doing great. We've got a great show tonight. And so, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure that you like, comment, and share on tonight's show. So we're going to be talking about petroglyphs. We're going to show some UFO videos. That's always fun. And so there's one petroglyph that seems to be going around Facebook and around social media, especially on Christmas Day. We're going to talk about that. And so, yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in on this Christmas Day. And so make sure that you go out there and you check out my book, The Phoenix Lights, Petroglyphs in the Sky, True Landscape for the Spirits, True Stories, Myths, Legends, and UFOs over Phoenix. Make sure you check that out. You can get it at Needly Worldwide Publishing and also eBay and some other internet stores, things like that. And so it talks about what the Phoenix Lights really is, and it talks about what the petroglyphs say the lights is. It says what the real history of Phoenix, Arizona, says what the Phoenix Lights really is, and not some mumbo-jumbo hearsay. This is a proven fact, and many, many years of research into that book. And so, yeah, go get your copy today. Okay, so today is Christmas, and this petroglyph here, I feel is very comical. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, it's Santa Claus." They call this the Santa Claus petroglyph. And I can actually tell you, no, this is not Santa Claus. It is not talking about the reindeer. It is not talking about Santa Claus whatsoever. Let's talk about the two circles that we see kind of like in the middle of your screen there. You see the two circles? Those are orbs. Those are the UFOs. Now that squiggly line over here to the left, it looks like some kind of, it's a mountain. It's a hill. It's a hill. It's representing a hill and a canyon. So these canyons are doorways for these UFOs, for these spirits. Are they mechanical crafts? No, these things are creatures. These things are alive. Okay. And this may look like, reindeer and this and that, but, this is not Santa Claus. And this guy over here to the left here, this is actually a spirit. This guy here to look kind of, let's crop him off here. This guy here, okay? So that he's actually coming out of that of the stone there. So you see that crack right there on the bottom of where he's at. You see the crack? See that crack that goes all along this area? You can actually see some of the petroglyphs that are carved up under that crack or even on that crack. You see that? So that crack is actually the doorway for the spirit. So when you see a spiral, we're gonna be showing petroglyph spirals tonight. So when you see that spiral, it's actually talking about a doorway. Now, it's normally going to point to a crack in the stone, okay? And we'll get into that here. We'll show some photographs of that. And so this spirit-type being is coming out of a doorway of the crack in the stone. Now, I'm sure somewhere on this panel, they didn't take photographs of it, but I'm sure there's a spiral somewhere around this crack here, because there's actually petroglyphs, as I was talking about, carved on that crack, which means they are coming out of the doorway. They are coming out of the crack in the stone. They're coming out of the doorway. Let's look at this over here to the right. Look at that big solid orb right above that one I guess you could, if you want to call it a deer, they probably are deer. They're probably elk of some kind. Not reindeer, not Santa's sleigh. This is not Rudolph. Okay, so this orb here, that solid dot. Look at that. That is what we are seeing in the skies today. That is an orb. And then over here to the left, we have the two lights there, the two orbs, okay, much like what we see in the skies today. Okay, so this is exactly what this is talking about. So this man here, over here, he's walking with the deer where the hill is walking with the deer. And he's a type of regular man. He's just like a regular man, okay? And we know this because of what he's dressed as. His feet. Look at his feet. They're going forward. Now look at the deer over here to the right of him. Look at these two deers here. Now look how the feet are going the opposite direction. You see that? Now the normal deers, their feet are going in the correct position, right? But this deer here in front of this guy here, his feet are going different. Is this significant? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is actually one of these creatures, one of these UFOs. Now, the Indians talk about these anthropomorphs. The archaeologist calls these things anthropomorph because they're morphing. They're shape-shifting. They like to take the shapes of animals. They like to take the shape of serpents, snakes, if you will, Quetzalcoatl, flying diamonds, crooked snakes. We're going to go into that here a little bit later into the show. We're going to show a crooked snake petroglyph, and then we're going to show what the actual UFO entity crooked snake looks like coming out of South Mountain here in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, right now we're talking about this deer here. See how his feet are going backwards, they're going different. So that's telling me that's not a regular deal. That's not a regular animal. That is a spirit resembling, acting like a deer because his feet are going the wrong way, especially with this to the guy next to him also. Now look at the horns. See that? The horns are completely different. That's another giveaway. Look at all the feet going in the correct position on all these deers here. But these two other deers in front of this man here with the horns, okay, so this is not normal, dude. This is a shape-shifting entity. This is a creature. Now, we have not reached that point yet. The Hohokam Indians, the Native American Indians, who actually saw and dealt with these spirits from the earth and the sky, they spent 1,000 years with these beings, 1,000 years with these creatures. Is it technology? No. Is it little green men from Mars? No. Is it outer space? No. Is it inner space? Yes. Okay, that's another secret. They are not from outer space. They are from inner space. They are not from another planet. This is their planet too. These are a type of animals, if you will, that have always been here. They're highly intelligent. They're creatures in the sky. You see a light out there in the sky. This is not a spaceship. This is not technology with a little guy in it. That is what we're seeing. That is what the creature looks like. He is a light. Okay, he's a being. He's a very intelligent being. Okay, and they like to mimic. Things of earthly nature, such as people, animals, if you will, deer, snakes, things like that. So, is this a depiction of Santa Claus? No. No, this is not Santa Claus. Okay, the interpretation on this goes way deeper than Saint Nick himself. Okay, and where did I get this information from? Okay, I have contacted many Native Americans around Phoenix, Arizona, and especially a high chief, a high medicine man, if you will, that works for the city Phoenix government. He's a Native American and he's a shaman. He took me up on South Mountain. He taught me all about these petroglyphs. So I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before. Okay, everything that I'm presenting you tonight isn't new. This isn't new, man. This might be new to the people who are just figuring out this type of information. But this type of information has always been here, and I'm bringing this information back to the public. I'm trying to get the true history on what these petroglyphs are talking about and what these phoenix lights and these creatures that we see in the skies today really is, according through Earth history, our history. This is part of our history that we're dealing with here, that we're talking about here, is with these petroglyph carvings. Okay, we can verify the carvings that are carved on the rocks here, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 years ago, and then we can see for our own eyes what we are witnessing in the skies today, as far as orbs and snakes and weird things, flying diamonds and long tubular things. People think cigars. Okay, damn it, dude. The Native Americans, they dealt with these things. They saw these things. They carved their sightings on these rocks. They didn't have video cameras back then. They didn't have cameras or any such nature. They had stone boulders to record their sightings at in the certain places on where the event took place at. This is the reason why we find petroglyphs on one side of the area, but no petroglyphs on the other side of the area, because nothing happened over there. The petroglyphs is a written testimony, a sacred scroll, a prehistoric photograph, telling a story on what happened in that area, right there where you are standing at in front of these petroglyphs. This is the reason why you're not supposed to be touching the petroglyphs and moving the petroglyphs, because you're erasing history. When you take that petroglyph away from that site, you're taking the significant area. You're taking that part of history away from the people who are trying to figure out what's going on here, such as myself and you guys. So, yeah, is this Santa Claus? No. Is this something else? Yes. And let's get right into the other things here. Okay. All right, so let's look at this petroglyph panel here. Now, this is very significant. This is very interesting. Now, this petroglyph came to me by Kendall Ray Morgan. Now, this petroglyph is located in Wood Wolf, Arizona. And Dennis Morgan took this photograph. Okay, and he wants to know what they are talking about. What can these petroglyphs actually be talking about? Well, let me show you. If I can find it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to back up this video. Back it up. Okay, now let's look at this here. Look at the top on the right on the petroglyph panel here. Let's look at Kendall Ray Morgan's photograph to the right of your screen. Now you see that crooked snake there? You see that crooked thing? And there's a guy, and he's waving at it, right? He's got his arms stretched up, right? He has his arms straight up. And what is it? Is it above his head? Yes. He is seeing this carving, this thing in the sky. Now look at the petroglyphs over here to your left. Now this is from South Mountain. This is South Mountain petroglyphs. Okay. I discovered this on South Mountain. All right. Now we have on the bottom right, we have a man looking there. We can see his legs there and kind of his arms. And then we can see another guy there. I'll blow this up here. Let's look at it a little bit closer. We have another guy there. Okay. It looks like kind of like a shaman priest or something. Maybe he's got a headset on. All right. And these crooked snake-looking things are above his head. Look at that. Do you see the resemblance here? Do you see the exact same thing that we're seeing on Kendall Ray's Morgan's photographs there? Do you see this here? Now this guy is looking up at this crooked snake, and over here to our panel, we have two guys from South Mountain looking up at a crooked snake. Now, what could this mean? What is this talking about? Well, let's fast forward. Let's move along the video here. Let's take a look at this. What could these carvings be talking about? Here's another picture of it. Excuse me. Let's take a look at this here before we go any further. Can you see the resemblance? Can you see the resemblance there? Woo. So what could these petroglyphs be talking about? Here we go. As I was looking out my window, March 9th, 2005, towards South Mountain in Phoenix, Arizona, as I am investigating the petroglyphs and investigating the Phoenix lights, I noticed this object leaving South Mountain. I quickly jumped on my video camera, and this is what I captured. Can you see the resemblance here? Do you see the resemblance? This is what I call my work, Petroglyphs in the Sky. Okay? This entity left South Mountain, and it climbed high in the sky. It shapeshifted. Look at that. Look at what we're looking at here. And then look at Kendall Ray Morgan's photograph. Can we see the resemblance there? Especially going from left to right, as it even, I mean, it's got that huge arch cliff looking thing, and it's coming down, but it's going back up. So this snake, the petroglyph here, is a lot more. There's more to it. That crooked snake, that serpent in the sky, is a lot longer than what I'm filming here in Phoenix, Arizona. Than what I filmed in Phoenix. Can you see the resemblance now? Now look at that. This guy is looking up at something that I filmed in Phoenix, Arizona, that's been carved clear on the other side of Arizona. But yet I'm filming the exact same thing in Phoenix, 2005. As we move the video forward. Look at that. Let's look at this again here. This is when I knew that I was correct on my discoveries. This sighting here, and also, the flying diamonds and the flying serpents, but this one was my very first, evidence matching the petroglyphs on the mountains around the Valley of the Sun, around Phoenix, Arizona. These petroglyphs are talking about the Phoenix lights. Now, is it talking about spaceships or crafts, as many seem to believe, that something went over Phoenix, Arizona on March 13, 1997 with no evidence whatsoever? Or can we look at the petroglyphs and actually examine the petroglyphs, and what does the petroglyphs say? Are they saying that these things are spaceships? No. Are they saying they're from another world? No, man. They're coming down out of the sky. They're coming up from the ground. They're coming out of doorways. They're tracking the sun. They're following the seasons, the equinox and the solstice. Okay? They're shapeshifters, dude. Look at this. Look what this thing is doing. You see that there? You see? What is it doing? Look at that. It is changing shape. It is what the archaeologist likes to call an anthropomorph. He's anthropomorphing. He's changing shape. As he's moving across the sky, he left South Mountain. I'm on my second story apartment's window, looking out my kitchen window. I'm about a mile away from South Mountain. I'm filming this thing. And, once I proved that this is what the petroglyphs are talking about, and no one else has ever done this before. This is the first time in history someone has actually matched the glyphs with the sightings, not only in Phoenix, Arizona, but quite possibly around the world. We have a lot of fake carvings of spaceships, and I meant to send an example. I meant to bring a picture about that tonight, but I completely forgot about it. Next show, we will show a fake carving of what somebody's trying to pass off. But look what's going on here. This is exciting. Here we have the entity. I find the entity now. See, I moved my camera, and then that entity, that airplane going right next to that creature. I wonder what those people were thinking. Let's see. Let's watch this again. So, yeah, once I prove this now, because it's always been a theory. Oh, we think the Native Americans saw UFOs in the sky and carved them on rocks. Or, we think that, but no one has actually proven it. Nobody has actually taken their UFO footage and matched the carvings on the rocks, on the mountains, on where they're filming these UFOs coming and going from. No one has ever done that before. And once I took this to the news, I took this to Channel 3 News, and in Phoenix, and they just ate it up, because this was a new perspective on the Phoenix Lights. No one has ever thought of this before. These petroglyphs are actually talking about UFOs. That just information just flew. And that's when I ended up doing the pilot for the UFO Hunter Show, the pilot for Ancient Aliens TV series. I wrote an article for UFO Magazine. Okay, yeah, that's when I'm doing a show in Tucson. Okay, so back to these petroglyphs here. So we can actually, now when I see these glyphs, okay, now this is carved in Arizona, right? Same with the one on the left, Phoenix, Arizona. But the one that Kendall Ray Morgan wants to know about was filmed in Wood Wharf, Arizona, by Dennis Morgan. And completely on the other side of the state, but yet we find this exact same petroglyph. Now, there's actually the exact same petroglyph in Mexico. There's a friend of mine in Mexico who's filming these things. I talked to him quite a bit. And there's carvings out there with the exact same type of crooked snake, if you will. So, yeah, that is what that petroglyph is talking about. Hope that helps, Kendall. And if you have any more petroglyphs that you want me to take a look at, please feel free to send them to me. So I'm considered an expert on this. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I have everything to back up all these claims here. And so let's talk about real quick about the Phoenix Lights. So a lot of people see these lights in the sky, and they think it's a craft. They're not understanding that what if that light is actually a living being, a living creature? Okay, what if that's the way it was created? So let's look at the firefly. Okay, you see the firefly? He lights up too, right? He's lighting up. So why can't these creatures light up, especially when they're hovering over major energy sources such as fault lines, power plants, power plants bore down into these fault lines, nuclear facilities, anything that generates a lot of energy. Okay, this is what they are mostly attracted to. This is the reason why these lights, these creatures, these Phoenix Lights is attracted so much to the Valley of the Sun, to Phoenix, Arizona, because these mountains, especially South Mountain is a very holy mountain, a very sacred mountain, okay, because of what lies beneath the mountain is this fault line. All right. And this is the reason why these creatures, these entities, these UFO beings, these lights are coming to this mountain and have been probably since the beginning of time. Okay. The Hohokam Indians knew about this place. The Mayan Indians knew about this place. Yes, the Mayans were here. Okay. In Arizona. Yeah, we've already proven that. All right. The Mayans were here on South Mountain in the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, they were. Okay, we found the tombs. Okay, the first park ranger of Phoenix, Arizona from the 1930s backs up all this information. I found all this information buried in the Phoenix Library downtown. Okay, all this information has been buried for the last 80 years. I'm bringing this information back to you. And what does it say? It says the Mayans were here. They left tombs around South Mountain. There's possibly gold inside these tombs. Okay, when you go to my website down below and when you check out my book, I explain about these tombs. I show photographs of these tombs. They are clearly there. Okay, and I think we should at least dig up one tomb. Okay, now the city of Phoenix has made South Mountain a government park. So if you go in there and start excavating things and digging up stuff, you're going to get in trouble, man. All right, so that's a no-no. So I think it's time that we force the archaeologists, we get the ASU people down there to investigate this stuff. We need to get this ball rolling. There is history covered up there that explains on what happened to the Hohokam Indians, explains who was here before us, explains the fiery bird that rose up out of the ashes, known as the Phoenix, who came from the formal civilization. This explains, these tombs will explain our history. Okay, but no, they covered this up. They make this park a government park. Why? Because there is so much evidence out there that there's something more to these Indians just living here for 1,000 years, making canals, and then all of a sudden vanishing from the face of the earth. And the archaeologist wants us to believe they simply walked away. They just migrated somewhere else because it got too hot. That's bullshit, dude. That's just crap. That is what they want you to believe. But the true history of what happened to these people lies on the mountains around the Phoenix, Arizona area. Okay, especially South Mountain. Check out my book. I explain on how to understand the petroglyphs. I explain the tombs, and like I said, we need to examine one tomb to find out what the true history of Phoenix is. Maybe one day somebody will actually do this. Okay, maybe someday, if we get enough pressure on the archaeologists, we get enough information going on out there, getting it out there, getting the information out there, more people coming to the mountain and checking out this discovery that I have found, maybe eventually it'll push these people to at least open up one and find out what's inside. So I like getting off the topic here. So let's talk about the firefly. Okay, so the firefly, look, he's lighting up, dude. All right, so these lights are attracted to South Mountain, formerly known as Mount Stapoa, Mountain of Mercy. Okay, because the Mayans came here, the Indians were here. There was major Indians, all kinds of tribes coming around from all sorts of the United States to Phoenix, Arizona to see the Phoenix Lights, dude. The Phoenix Lights has been going on way before 1997, March 13th, dude. These lights have been going on for at least, has been documented by the rock art, has been documented by the petroglyphs for at least over 1,000 years. These lights has been visiting this mountain. I would have to believe that it goes much further, but the carbon dating and everything, as far as we can go back, is about 1,000 to 1,700 years old, tops, maybe. Some scientists, some archaeologists go back, 3,000 to 5,000 years. That's stretching it. The carbon dating and the evidence would pinpoint this, at least the stuff that we can analyze here, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,700 years. But yeah, I'm sure it goes on 5,000 years, right? But what we can prove physically is 1,000 to 17, all right? And so these lights have always been coming here, dude. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. You see a light in the sky, it's nothing new to the Indians. Oh, yeah, we know about those things, they say. Yeah, they know. It's nothing new to the world. To this planet Earth that we have here, The planet knows, dude, about these lights. The planet knows about these creatures. It knows that it's another life form, just like us. It's another living being that is a part of nature. It's a part of nature. And what is it doing? It's coming to these energy sources, these fault lines, these volcanoes, these nuclear facilities, and they're hovering over these major power plants, these major energy sources, and they're absorbing the energy. The Native Americans, the Indians, the Hohokam Indians, and the Mayans say that they're going into the underworld. Okay? They're going down into the underworld. We've done many excavations in Mexico and lots of caves going down into the underworld, lots of sacrifice going on there. And yes, there was sacrifice going on in the city of Phoenix, Arizona, on the mountain, Mount Sapoa, Mountain of Mercy, formerly now known as South Mountain. Yes, there are altars there. Look at my book. Yes, there was sacrifice going on here. From the Mayans, from the Hohokams. They were sacrificing to their gods, to these phoenix lights in the sky, dude. These lights would visit the valley and absorb the energy from the mountains and light up, dude. And because, you know, when you have a lot of energy built up inside you, you're going to light up like a damn firefly, dude, right? You're sucking up the energy, of course. Where are you going to put that energy, dude? You know, you're going to stick it in your belly, dude, whatever, wherever it's going in. You know, and when you see these things going across the sky, they're leaving one energy source and they're heading to the next. Okay, so they say that they're going, the Native Americans and the shamans and all the biblical people saying that they're going down into the underworld, right? But on a scientific level, on a scientific way of thinking, they are going down into that fault line. Okay, so when the spiral goes, the spiral goes down. It's a doorway, you know, in the ground there, in the crack. Spiral going up. That's when these phoenix lights, these lights in the sky, these orbs just magically appear in the sky. There's a vortex, dude. There's a vortex right there. The spiral is going up. Right up there in the sky is where the event is going to take place out. This is where the creature is going to come out of that vortex. Spiral's going clockwise as a doorway in. Spiral's going counterclockwise as a doorway out. So much like the firefly that we have here, this is the best way to explain on why we see these lights in the sky. It's because that's them. That's them. This is what they are. They light up, especially when they have a belly full of energy. Wouldn't you think? Okay, so let's look at some of these UFO videos. This one I found. This one is really cool here. I'm not sure where it came from, but I really enjoyed this UFO video. You know, so these people, oh, that's a spaceship. Oh, it's a triangle craft. Oh my God. No, dude, these things like to fly in formation. This is the reason why, you know, pyramids are built. Is because they saw pyramids in the sky. Okay? They saw pyramids in the sky and they erected pyramids over ley lines, over fault lines. Okay? These pyramids are set right over these energy spots on where these lights like to hang out and absorb the energy. And so people see, you know, this type of sighting, and they automatically assume, oh, it's a triangle, it's a craft. No, man, this is how they fly in formation. This is not a spaceship. This is not a cloaked craft. That's three living entities, dude. That's three creatures we are looking at right there. Three life forms, all right? There's nothing in the middle. Nothing in the middle. That's them. They're lighting up. That's them. That's the creatures. That's the entities. That's the anthropomorphs. That's the beings. Are they from another world? No. Is it from outer space? No. Is it from inner space? Yes. It's exactly what's going on here. I like that sighting. It's great. You know, until people start to realize that this is not a spaceship here. You know, spaceships have never been proven. That's the thing. I don't get it. You know, all these people, it's like been hearsay. You know, especially with March 13th, 1997. Oh, this huge craft went over Phoenix. You know what, dude? I live in Phoenix. I was born and raised in Phoenix, dude. I was outside that night. Nothing went over the valley, okay? The only evidence we have of what happened that night was lights on the far west of South Mountain. That's where those lights were hanging out at, dude, on the west side. But yeah, you know, just like with school kids, you know, oh, Tommy broke his ankle at school. By the time it goes around school, oh my God, Tommy's losing his leg. He's going to die soon. Oh my God. I mean, it just blows up year by year by year by year. And media pushing bullshit, you know, and people selling books and movies of bullshit on hearsay. You know, dude, if you're going to make a fantastic claim that a spaceship went over the valley, reported going 8 miles an hour, and thousands of witnesses were supposed to have witnessed this, and but nobody can pick up a camera, okay, you better fucking make sure you cover your ass, dude, because that doesn't look very credible on your part. You know, you're gonna come out there and make a fantastic claim. You better be able to prove it. All right, you better be able to prove it like I did. Okay, I'm making a fantastic claim. Look what I'm saying. I'm saying these things are from inner space. I'm saying these things are from our world. I'm saying these things are not spaceships. I'm saying these things have been here before. Okay, I'm saying these things are alive. These things are absorbing energy. Also, I have the proof to back it up. I've been doing research for 15 to 17, almost 20 years now. Okay, I've been hiking South Mountain. I've been investigating the UFO sightings. I'm a native of Phoenix, Arizona, dude. I've been down to the Phoenix Library. I dug up this information. I have the petroglyphs on my side. I have the first park ranger, you know, on my side. I have so much evidence, dude. I am walking the walk and I am talking the talk. And I tell you what, there's a lot of skywatchers out there to this day who cannot say that. And it's upsetting. It's really upsetting because, you know, they're making fools out of people. They're making fools out of people. Oh, buy my book because a spaceship went over Phoenix, Arizona. Buy my movie tickets. I think this is another petroglyph from Kendall Ray. Here we go. Here we go on the spirals. Okay, so here we have a spiral. And we have this crack, right? But the spiral, if we examine it, the spiral looks like it's going to the right. So there must be another crack, probably up here somewhere. The doorway's probably up there. And here we have a guy there. Okay, and it seems like he's coming out of the spiral, right? If he had a belly, if he had an orb in his belly, or if he had a tail, I would say that would be, you know, a UFO entity. I have to say that would be a creature. But this is like a regular guy, okay? And his hands are down. See, and that's very significant also, because mostly we see the petroglyphs with their hands up, and sometimes when we see the petroglyphs with their hands are down, that means they're dead. They have died. Okay, now we have another spiral here, but look at this. We have this line that's going down to meet that crack in the stone there. Okay, and then we have this zigzag pattern, all right? And it's going into this petroglyph here. It's going into that spiral. You see that? So, or it's coming out. It looks like it's probably coming out. So the spiral is going clockwise. So what is it? It's a doorway in. So these creatures here are going into the doorway. We have another spiral over here to the right. Now it's hard to tell, but it does look like it's going the same direction. So we have two doorways in. Okay, and then we have these lines here, these carvings going down into the crack here, into that big crack there, right? And then we have this little, to the right, this little arm sticking up, okay? These are doorways. It is telling us that these are doorways for these spirits to absorb the energy. That's exactly what these petroglyphs are talking about. Now, here we go. This guy here, we have a guy, and it looks like he's got very long arms. Now that is, that is a creature. That is an entity. That is, a supernatural being, if you will, and because you could tell with his arms, things like that. So yeah, absolutely. It is talking about these creatures that we see in the skies today. It's talking about doorways, and it's talking about these things coming out of the doorways or going into the doorways. If you have any petroglyphs for me to take a look at, I'd love to see them. Here we have the another spiral. Now look at this. So spiral, it's going clockwise, and it's ending on the crack there. You see that there? That is the doorway in to the underworld. For us, it's the fault line. Scientifically, it's the fault line. Once you start to understand these petroglyphs, then it really makes you look at the world completely different. Especially when I've been seeing these creatures in the sky ever since I was a kid. I can remember playing catch football with my dad out there in the front lawn of our house, and this orb would be right there in the sky. Or I'd see this red, orange, amber light, when I was in the 5th grade, and I'd go to school the next day, and it's kind of cool, dude, because I had a little Indian friend, right? And I said, dude, did you see that light last night? It was like right over there, It was cool. It was big red looking thing. And my friend goes, oh yeah, my grandfather says that they live in those mountains over there. And he pointed west of the valley to the White Tank Mountains. Right? 5th grade, dude. I was told this information in 5th grade. Did I pay any attention to it? No, of course not. Just a kid. But growing up and seeing them all the damn time, everywhere you went, made me go on a quest, on a hunt to find out what these damn things were that I was seeing in the sky, because I've been seeing them all my life. The information that I first gathered was taking me down this one road. But the evidence was not adding up. The evidence, when I'm going out there in the field, not just taking hearsay, not just believing some guy's story because he wants to sell you a book, about nothing, okay, and make money off of you. Oh, by the way, I don't make any money off of this. I told the publishers of my book to give the money to the foster kids in Phoenix. I do not make any dime, not one dime from this stuff. The people who do give me money for my books, I give them to homeless people or somebody on the streets that needs it. I don't need, to get, the money off of. This is not, the way I see about all this, this is not us to make profit off of. We are not supposed to exploit the lights like a lot of people are doing out here. We are not supposed to exploit the lights. We are here to investigate them, to understand our history. Because they're our history. They are part of our history. They are part of mankind's history. And I think because this information has been covered up for so long, but it's time for us to take a second look at what these petroglyphs are talking about. What exactly is in the sky here, not believing bullshit. Okay, but going out on the field like I did, go investigate what's going on here. All right, so the hearsay bullshit of a Phoenix Lights craft going over the city of Phoenix wasn't getting anywhere. There's no evidence of that. Okay, so then I started to go down to where this other road, and that's where all the credible evidence was coming at me. With the first park ranger, with the petroglyphs, with the history of Phoenix, Arizona, with the true history. The tombs on South Mountain, why the lights are here, all this stuff, dude. The credible evidence is down this road, not from some lady trying to sell you a book or sell you movies or someone on television trying to convince you that these are spaceships when there's no proof of this. The proof lies on what we actually see in the skies and what the petroglyphs talk about and what some of these 3,000 to 7,000 year old scrolls talk about. They talk about these things, man. No, it's not religion. It's the world's history. The Bible is the world's history. Dude, don't look at the Bible as religion. Dude, kick that religion shit out the door, dude. Let's look at the Bible as a type of history of the world. And when you do that, it tells you, it explains to you what we're seeing in the skies today. How can people overlook this? It's beyond me. You want to know what UFOs is? It's been sitting right there in front of us the whole time. It's been always there. This information has always been with us. We can read about them on some of these scriptures and the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Anunnaki stories and the Sumerian stories. And then we can go out on the petroglyphs and see the prehistoric photographs of what these scrolls are talking about. That's it. That's exactly what's going on here. That is where the evidence lies. Not somebody trying to sell you a book on hearsay, okay? But what we can prove, what archaeology can prove. And what does it talk about? It talks about beings in the sky. The Indians carved these beings they saw in the sky. They didn't have cameras. But they had these mountains where they saw these lights at, and these flying snakes, and these flying diamonds, and these crooked snakes. Okay? And they didn't know no better. Of course they worshiped these things as gods. Okay? They didn't know any better. From there, bore giants, blah, blah, blah. We know the biblical days, the biblical flood. It's all there. The evidence is all there. Biblical evidence, the carvings, what we see in the skies today. Hopi's saying we're in the fourth world, getting ready to enter the fifth. Come on, man. It all makes sense. When you start looking at it this way, then you will start to understand what we are seeing in the skies. But until then, it's just hearsay. It's bullshit. It's someone telling you a story with no credible evidence. No evidence whatsoever. This petroglyph is cool. Look at this. So we have these orbs, these light orbs up here to the upper right. And we have this spiral there. They're going into, I was looking at it, they're going into the spiral there. Isn't that great? They are showing us. They are telling us, look, dude, we've seen that in the sky before, right? We've seen these orbs, right? So many people filming these. You know, I'm not talking about CGI bullshit craft. I'm talking about what's really here. Lights, orbs, shape-shifting entities that sometimes people mistake for balloons because they're so wrapped up in the spaceships. They see these things in the skies, and they're changing shape. They're changing colors. They're moving slowly. They're in control. They're doing this. They're growing arms. They're growing legs. They're doing neat stuff. People see that, and they think it's a balloon because they've been brainwashed with bullshit information on spaceships, on crafts. So they're looking for crafts. Oh, that's a balloon because it's not a spaceship. I think it's time to start doing your own homework, doing your own investigations on what UFOs really is, and let you make up your mind. Once you go down this road, go down both roads here. Go down both roads. See which road takes you for the evidence. I did it. Took me 15 years. 15 years. I'm still doing it, right? 15 years on that book. Give or take 17. I don't know. It's been a long time. Lots of investigation. Lots of hiking the mountain. Lots of talking to Native Americans. Lots of talking to shamans. Lots of looking up, information in the City Phoenix government library that's been buried for the last 80 years. Okay, going out there on South Mountain, finding the tombs, finding the history, right? Once you do that, everything will change for you. You will start to really understand what is really going on here. This is cool too. This was filmed in Mexico. I like this sighting very much. This is pretty cool. A lot of people, oh, what's a weather balloon? That's a balloon. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. Look at that thing, dude. This thing is coming down to absorb the energy there. Let's look at this thing. Let's look at this thing here, man. This is great footage. You see that? You can see it kind of changing shape. But look at the way it's moving. See how kind of it's moving like real. It's like in control, dude. Right? It's not blowing in the wind. It's on a mission. It's going somewhere. It knows exactly where it's going. Let's look at it again. Look at that thing, right? This is not a spaceship. This is not a craft. Isn't that great? That's great footage. That is great footage. If you guys have anything, any UFO sightings you want me to check out, please feel free to bring them to me. I go through a lot of emails, a lot of Facebook messages. Find me on Facebook. Follow me, and find my YouTube channel, the Phoenix Lights, Petroglyphs in the Sky. Send me your UFO videos. Let's look at it. Photographs, I'm not too crazy about because you never know what a photograph could be anything. And if you're going to film UFOs, if you're going to be a real UFO investigator, get yourself a video camera. Let's get off the cell phone. Okay, no cell phone photographs, no cell phone videos, because that's really, really hard to tell what it is. Video cameras are a lot better. You can zoom in, you can get great shots with video cameras. So let's stay off the cell phones. If you're gonna be a UFO investigator, let's get yourself a good video camera, HD, digital. Go out and get yourself a good one. And let's stay off the cell phones. Okay. This is another one. I'm not sure where this is filmed at. Let's fast forward this a little bit. Okay, yeah, see, look at this. This is great stuff here. Look how a lot of people say, oh, it's a balloon, it's a balloon. But look what it's doing here. Okay? Examine what it's doing here. Look at that. This is the stuff that we need to be looking for. Not crafts, not spaceships, but stuff like this. Now look at the way they're moving, right? If they were balloons, they would be flip-flopping in the wind. They would be erratic. They wouldn't be in control. But look at this. Look at this sighting here. Look at this. This is great stuff. Okay? I'm not sure where this is filmed at. But look how they're in control. Now, if they were balloons, they'd be blown away from each other by now. But yet they're sticking together. Now one's coming down and joining the other. You see that there? Balloons do not act like this. Now, there's a line. There's a lot of petroglyphs that show this line that comes down from these orbs, all right? And sometimes they form barbells. And so sometimes they connect together. And so what I think they're doing is they're absorbing each other's energy. They connect together. Look at that. Isn't that great? That is great stuff. I love this video. Look at that. Look how they're in control here. They're not erratic, moving around like balloons would do. They are totally in control. They're on a mission. This is the type of stuff that we need to be looking for. And they've always been here. So if you've never seen a UFO before, just keep looking. You will see one, and have your cameras ready, dude. Check out my website down below, the p9hosting.rod.com / at petroglyphsinthesky.com / There you can find all the information there, where to get the book. Talks about the first park ranger. Investigate him. Check him out. There's all that information on my website. Came from the city library. Okay. There's a lot of UFO videos there. You can see the video from the UFO Hunter Show, History Channels, all the news reports that I've done there. So this glyph here, I just want to concentrate on the guy's right above the guy's head. See the crooked snake there, and the guy looking at him. We just saw that UFO sighting. Isn't that great? And these zigzags, those are mountains. Those are mountains. And these boxes here, those are UFOs. Some people will call them Tic Tacs, right? the Tic Tac UFO, right? And the zigzag down through here, those are mountains, right? We got the hill there. We have this hill right here, right in the middle of your screen there. It's a hill. And these entities, these spirits are inside the hill, right? It's exactly what's going on with this panel. Okay. Do I have anything else? Yes, I have one more petroglyph. Here we go. This is on South Mountain. Now, these are mountains. The triangles carvings are the mountain peaks. I found this petroglyph on South Mountain. And look, a big flying snake is right over these mountains. This serpent must have been at least a mile long. Okay, because you figure each peak is a hill. Each peak is a mountain peak. These, pyramids that it's over. So these are mountain hills, mountain peaks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peaks that this huge, massive snake flying in the sky is above. So that's got to be at least a half a mile to a mile long. That's a huge serpent flying in the skies of Phoenix, Arizona that has been recorded by the Indians, dude. When you look at all the evidence here, I mean, it's just outstanding on how you can, overlook, evidence such as this, So anyway, looks like that's it. I hope you guys have a great Christmas, and I'll let you guys get back to your Christmas dinner and open up presents and things like that. And you guys have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you guys next time. And thanks for joining me. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.